Hey, thanks for dropping in. So we're still in summer cooking mode in our house, which means we're eating simple, quick, and usually light dishes to fit the season. On the menu tonight is fish curry, which is one of my very favorites. Because my wife and daughter both have low tolerance for spice, though, I'm keeping it pretty mild. Feel free to bump up the spices to suit your own taste. Mine will be delicate, but it should still leave a nice warmth in the mouth and belly. So this being a fish curry, I'm starting by cutting up some frozen pre-packaged basa fillets. I got these at the supermarket, and they're so handy when all you want to do is cook fish without bothering with any of the prep work. And basa, which admittedly isn't one of my favorite fishes, actually works remarkably well here. It's mild, so it doesn't compete with the sauce, and the texture's delicate and flaky, but not falling apart soft. Now that the fish is ready, I can move on to the aromatics. First comes ginger, which I'll just slice up. It's going to go into Food Pro, so rough slices are perfectly fine. Next, I've got a small-ish white onion. Again, these just need to be chopped roughly. The Food Pro will take it from there. And finally, I've got some garlic. The cloves only need to be peeled. Then we can swap out the cutting board for the machine. Alright, everything goes in, along with a tiny splash of veg oil for lubrication. And I can pulse this until I get what I want. Now there's two reasons I'm doing this step. First, by whizzing up the aromatics so finely, they'll incorporate better into the sauce. They'll give it some body, and of course, they'll give it flavor. Second, Nova, my daughter, has a fanatical hatred of onions and garlic. She will pick out the smallest pieces from her plate, and the only way to sneak them by her is to hide them, or make it impossible for her to remove them. So, yeah. Okay, I think this'll do. It's time to get cooking, and this is going to go quick. I've got about a quarter cup of veg oil heated in my wok, and I'll just dump the aromatics in all at once. I have to watch this carefully because I'm not trying to brown anything. Just sweat the aromatics until they're aromatic. So just a couple of minutes, tops. Okay, it's starting to smell really good here, so it's time to add the spices. I've got garam masala, chili powder, cumin, turmeric, and smoky paprika. As usual, exact measurements will be in the description. And like I said at the start, you'll probably want to bump up the quantities, unless you like a really mild curry, like my family, in which case, just leave it. I'll mix it in and allow the spices to diffuse into the oil. Then after that, I can stir in some tomato paste, and then I'll let that go for a couple of minutes so the flavors can intensify. Everything's looking good and has deepened in color a bit. Not to mention it's smelling absolutely fantastic. Now, I can add a cup of plain water. You can switch this out with coconut milk if you want, but I'm sticking with plain water because there will be a creamy element going in a minute. Next, a little seasoning. Several turns of black pepper and a couple of good pinches of salt. I'll turn the heat down and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. It's time for the fish to take the stage, so I'll just slide it in. As you can see, the chunks are still a little frozen, and that's alright. They're so small, it's only going to take them a few minutes to cook through. I'll gently prod the pieces apart so they can nestle down into the sauce. Because the fish is so cold, it will drop the temperature of the wok down, so I've got to wait a minute for everything to come back up to a simmer. Okay, the fish is done and the sauce is reduced a bit, so this dish is just about ready for its final step. Before that though, I have to turn the heat down to minimum because I don't want to see any more bubbles. Alright, this should be good. And here we go, the last step. I'm going to stir in some full-fat sour cream. Carefully though, because while the basa is firm enough that it can take a bit of a jostling, I still want to be gentle. Now you could just add heavy cream if you wanted, but I like the slight tang that the sour cream gives to the sauce. Once everything's thoroughly combined, I can give it a final taste. That's ready. So here it is, my quick and easy fish curry. It comes together in about 20 minutes, but that definitely doesn't mean it lacks flavor. It's served with a side of rice that was freshly steamed with a bit of coconut milk in it, and a sprinkle of cilantro for a pop of color and a bit of freshness. As I said at the start of the video, fish curry is one of my absolute favorite plates of food. And this dish, it ticks all the boxes. It's got tender, moist, flaky fish, paired with a rich, layered sauce. The spice level's mild but pleasantly warm, and if you ever did want to take it up a notch, all it takes is a pinch of cayenne or maybe a fresh chili or two. It's really good. Thanks for watching. This was a special dish for me, so I hope you enjoyed it. As always, your feedback is welcome, so feel free to drop a comment. And please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you want to see more videos like this. Now, I'm going to go eat my curry. I'll see you next week.